Hello and welcome here at the first round of GX UK at the Macy Cup. We are trying out the new Vegases and this is Heat 1. I'm starting in 10th position and here we go. So I get a fairly decent start and I have a look up the inside but don't go for it because I knew it was going to tighten up. Now making it through the chicane, we're already in 4th, so not the worst to start. Then I try and get out the spray of 91. I want to get past 91 as quick as possible so that I have free air and then I can charge down to see if I can catch the top 2. Down the straight I get a good run but not enough to make a move into turn 1. I'm close to 91 here but don't get a good enough exit to make a move into the hairpin. And then number 5 comes down my inside and overtakes 91 straight away. And I try and go for a move on 91 but he closes it off too quickly. We're going to skip to later on in the race because for me and for you this race is going to be quite boring because people just keep overtaking me because I do mistakes and not overtake 91 in the right moment. So later on in the race the M plate and 91 were battling, so I take advantage of that and I get a great run through the last corner and overtake 91. Now I'm just trying to catch up to the M plate and see if I can overtake him. I gain quite a lot from this hairpin and it's looking good for me, but then I don't do so great in the next corner, so he gets a better run and he gets away a bit quicker. I was a bit scruffy there on the last corner because I was trying to go as quick as possible to catch up to him. Now it's the last lap. I was pushing as much as I could just to see if I could overtake him and get that one position. I get a good line through the hairpin and I'm right on his tail now, but I do a mistake, a big mistake, and I let him go because I went on the gas pedal too early and I slid. And I did the same thing on the last corner, thinking that maybe I could go a bit quicker to overtake him. But I couldn't, and I lost him completely. Now we go into Heat 2, where I'm starting 20th and all the positions I can get matter. I think I got a pretty good start when the lights went out. A couple of people passed me on the inside, but I just keep it on the outside and managed to make my way through a couple of positions going into the chicane. I overtake 91, which was on my left, and now get a decent exit out of the hairpin and try to line myself up for a good overtake. And then 91 overtakes me into the double left-hander, so I couldn't get that move done. And again, I tried to overtake 91, but just don't have enough speed to get past him. Then I go for a move into turn 1, but still he hangs it round the outside. I try and get the best run I can get out of the chicane, and I was going to go for a move, but I didn't. Then I set myself up nicely for the hairpin and just avoid a crash that I could have easily gone into there. 95 comes launching in on the double left-hander, but I managed to do a cut back. But then he had the inside line on the quick right-hand corner, but then I cut back him again and then got the move done on the last corner. '95 goes for another dive down into T1, but then I switch back and make the move switch. Now I'm just trying to catch up to the pack ahead and see if I can gain as many positions as possible. '33 has a minor snap on the exit of the corner, but still manages to get a better exit than me, so I didn't gain much. Into T1 we were on the brakes later, meaning we caught up a bit earlier. Into the chicane we had a better entry, but the exit was very poor. We've caught up to the pack ahead now, and all I want to do is just overtake people. We go for a move on number 33, but don't make it stick. He had the outer line, which is the better line through there. '95 goes for another dive down into turn 1 and manages to make it stick. I'm sticking right behind the tail of 95 just to see what happens, because maybe he'll open a gap that I could get myself into and overtake somebody. But then 33 spins and we both gain a position. '95 tries to go for a move on 91, but doesn't make it stick. Through chicane, we go in quicker, and we exit quicker. We've got slipstream as well. We pull out to go for a move, and manage to make it stick. And we also overtake 57 in the process as well. Now we've got 21 to overtake. Got a nice line through here and I go for a move. I don't make it stick, but I try and stick in the slipstream. But he had a better line, and I couldn't keep up with him down the straight. Number 9 and 95 both go for a move down into turn 1 and both make it stick. .95 goes down the inside of 21, and then that opens a gap for me to go down the inside of 21, and I managed to make the move stick. Then 95 covers me off when I was going to make a move. I get a better exit than him through the last corner and was side by side, and I managed to make it round him and 34. Now I'm going to try and go get 9, but then he overtakes 91, so now 91 is next. And maybe 31? No, because 31 covers him off nicely. I'm closing in, and now I just need a good exit on the last corner, then I'll be right on their tails. But I don't do that, and I slide a bit and don't get a good exit. 45 seconds left on the clock. I can make it past all of these. I just need to be quick and bold with my actions. Nine finally gets past 31, and now 91 is right on the tail of 31. .91 goes for a move on 31 and manages to make it stick. Then I get a good line through the last corner and decide to make it 3 wide on the right, and I manage to get round 31 but not 91. Into the chicane I have a better line, and out of the chicane as well. I've got a good exit through here, but I don't manage to brake late enough to get him. I make a mistake which cost me a bit of time, and then he slides a bit going into the second to last corner, and then I do as well on the last corner, but he gets a poor exit on the last corner, and we head into the last lap. Trying to get a better line everywhere just so I can overtake him. It's looking like I can't overtake him now at this point, and I close down a bit on him through the hairpin, but then he goes on the grass and spins, and that is really unfortunate for him, but for us that did make it a bit better for the final results in the final. And from 20th I ended up finishing 11th, which I don't think is bad because that got us quite a lot of points for the final. And now into Heat 3. I was starting pole. I had never done this before, so I was a bit nervous and I didn't really know what to do. I had the D plate, Sam Blamey, on my left as well, so I knew this was going to be tough. And lights out, and the D plate gets a better start than me and manages to get past me before the first corner. I'm just going to try and stick with him now, because I don't want to battle with him early on, because that could cause trouble for us in the long term. Following him was quite tough, and he did edge out a bit to me, but after this length I did kind of keep up with him. Closed on him a tiny bit, and I braked later than him into the hairpin, but he's took a better line than me and manages to get better exit, even if I have closed down on him a bit. I try and follow his lines as much as I can, and now I've closed on him quite a lot actually. Into the last corner, I didn't get a very good exit and I slid a bit. I go tighter into turn 1 and also into the chicane, but he manages to get a better exit than me. I don't have a very good exit into the hairpin, and that didn't help a lot in catching up to the D plate, but I caught up to him a bit in the double left-hander. I didn't get a very good exit on the last corner again, so he edged out even a bit more. I took that tighter line again, which seemed to be working better for me. But then I missed the curb on the first chicane, and that wasn't very good because that sent my cart nearly spinning. And then the M plate goes for a dive down into the hairpin and manages to make it stick. And after this, it's pretty boring because I get overtaken a lot because I didn't make the most of what I could, and I think I could have done better, like on the start. I think I should have started a bit more in front, and maybe I shouldn't have backed out when I could have braked a bit later in some places, and instead of not defending heavily and keeping the position of third, I just let them go really when they overtook me when I shouldn't. As you can see now, the M plate and the D plate have both gotten quite far ahead, and I was kind of waiting for the M plate to get to the D plate to then, so that they could battle, and hopefully I could close in a bit and make the most of it. Now the end plate is right on the tail of the D plate, and I'm just hoping for them to start battling heavily, as I said before, so that I can make the most of it. Number 9 makes the most of my mistake on the double left-hander and overtakes me. And number 3 gets a better run than me, but then I managed to switch back. Even though I was aware that people were trying to get past me behind, I wasn't defending that much, which is a mistake that I probably shouldn't have done, because I could have most likely kept this position, which is good, because I would have got better points for the final. Now I'm just trying to get consistent laps in until the end. Even though I was aware of people behind me, maybe I could edge out a bit from them. Then number 5 goes for a move from me into the chicane, and I don't defend it very well. And then number 3 also goes for a move into me from the hairpin, and I didn't defend that very well as well. I got a really bad exit from the last corner, and now we head into the last lap. At this point I was just hoping the 3 and 9 would battle a lot so I could make some moves. And then a back marker gets in the way of 3 and 5. 5 gets a poor exit, and I'm just too far away to maybe make a move to 5. And we go into the final where I'm starting 8th, and here we've got a cool view of the start from the outside. We were lucky to have the sun come out like 20 minutes before our race, because it dried the track out and it's a bit easier to drive and to make quicker laps stick. So we've gone back into the go-kart now. starting 8th, I knew that we could do well, seeing as now it dried up, and I was doing very well in the dry on Saturday. So it might not be fully dry, but still better. Don't get a bad start and manage to get to the right, which is the better line for a start. We try and get a good exit here, and we do. And we go down the inside of 19 and the D plate. Now, we are side by side, and I don't think 19 saw that I was there, and I kind of backed out last second, so he turned, I was going in, then I backed out but didn't back out enough. He turned in and it made him spin, and him and the D plate span. And I'm sorry for both of them. Now I'm trying to stick with 22, but then 95 goes for another dive into turn 1. But I managed to defend him into the chicane. And now 22 is quite far away, and I've got a lot of catching up to do. I'm hoping that they can all battle the pack ahead, so that then I can get myself in there and do some moves and overtake them. One thing that didn't help is that I was on my own, so I didn't have any slipstream like they did, and that was annoying. Skipping to a few laps later, 22 goes into the massive puddle, and unfortunately he spins and goes on the grass and hits the wall. From this point on, the race is really boring. It's just me doing consistent laps, and I don't gain any positions. Nobody tries to overtake me. It's just me just trying to catch the pack ahead, but I don't manage to. Got a few laps left now, and I'm doing a couple of mistakes here and there, but still I managed to keep the kart on the track. I could see that the karts ahead were now really close to each other, and I was hoping that they would start a hard battle, and even if I don't overtake, maybe I can cause some trouble in a way that I could gain some positions without contact, but just let people know that I'm there. What do you think about this day? Do you think it turned out pretty well? Because I do, considering that it was very wet and hard to control the car. So, in this race, in the final, I finished 5th, which I was very happy about, but I just barely missed out on a trophy. We're heading to the last lap now, and mounting that curb on the left kink. Tight line through the first corner, no sliding because we don't need it. You can tell that I've gone a bit tired because I completely missed the apex on the first bit of the chicane. Nice wide line through the hairpin, making sure that I keep everything nice and on track. I go a bit wide there, but it doesn't cause anything bad. And into the last corner we go. We get a fairly good exit, and that's 5th. Yeah, quite a good day and a good weekend. Thanks for watching, and see you next time.